Yo, what is going on? How is everybody doing today? Welcome to the Risen Fallen podcast. If you're brand new to this show, then what you can expect is open and authentic conversations about things like mental health, self-development, and how to get your life moving in the right direction. If you're not feeling good about where you are right now, at least having the confidence knowing that you're getting, at least 1% better every single day. And that's pretty much it. My goal is just to kind of come on here once a week and just give you kind of something to think about, something to digest mentally, maybe something that just kind of makes you think differently about something that you're going through right now, or whatever it could be. Maybe it just kind of puts to words something that you felt, and that kind of just helps you out. But anyways, hope that you're doing well. It is Monday, October 20th. We are getting closer to Halloween. If you care about that, historically, I kind of did used to care about it. Like as a teenager, Halloween parties were fun. Definitely a huge something I looked forward to. But, honestly, for the past 5-6 years, I really haven't cared about them. I actually moved into a place on Halloween night one night and just spent the night unpacking my clothes and going to bed. And that's really how I've spent the last couple of Halloweens. Just not really, I hand out candy. I do enjoy that part. It does make me laugh, and, talking and chatting with the kids and, letting them pick their candies or whatever. It always makes me laugh. But that's probably how I'm going to go through it. And so, how is everybody doing today? Happy Monday morning. Hope that you are doing well. Halloween's coming up, but it is a beautiful, crispy fall. Recently it's been pretty good in Vancouver here. It's been raining a little bit, but we are getting through it. It did drop a little bit in temperature, but it's nice. It's crispy. It's beauty out. Last couple weeks I've been dealing with my little thumb injury here. As you can see, if you're watching the video of this, I can bend it pretty well, but the nail does look pretty gross. It's probably going to fall off pretty soon. And to be frank, it looks kind of gross right now. Like the nail itself is, slightly deformed. It's lifted up. It's going to fall off soon, I'll be honest with you. A couple weeks here and, just trying to let it do its own thing and just leave it alone and just try and take care of it. But it did really just, and it's crazy because I was thinking about this, and then, I have a little quote thing on the home screen on my phone. It just kind of like shares a quote with me every single hour, like it's like a different one. And, I was thinking about this, looking at at my nail, how, it's kind of gross looking. It, it looks gross. Sometimes it can smell. Sometimes, I'm just kind of exaggerating, but it's like it's one of those things where you think about the healing process, and we all think about the healing process in terms of like this, like let's put it this way: we have this kind of illusion of like instant transformation almost, because we've gone through this, especially if you've grown up with the internet, you've grown up with social media. You've gone through this whole, like, seeing people's transformation photos. This is the picture of Jeff Bezos sitting in his little, like, home office or garage office or whatever. And then it skips forward and it's like him with, like, his $1 billion jet or whatever. Or, like, the Elon Musk back in, like, the pre-PayPal days. And then it's like, oh, this is him in SpaceX. Or you see like the before and after photos of someone's like weight loss journey. They're like, here's me. I'm fucking 485 pounds. And then all of a sudden they show this other picture and they're ripped and they're fucking shredded abs, 185 pounds, like fucking different, like, skin removal surgery. You just see like the before and after. Or somebody's, you see like the Mr. Beast fucking when he's like 15 to like now or whatever. All these different things. You see all these like before and after, but we skip over the in-between process. A lot of us, and if you do think about it, you think, oh, maybe, yeah, that person has to work out like an hour a day or whatever it is. You don't really, it's easy to undermine the amount of work that it takes, and it's easy to kind of skip over that mentally and just kind of like think about, oh, there's this kind of instant like you see it as well when people kind of start new habits. where they kind of expect like instant results. They think like, oh, I started journaling, I started reading more, I don't feel more mindful, I don't feel like I'm learning anything, I don't feel like I'm getting anything out of it. I read the first 10 pages of this book, maybe it's not for me. Or they start working out and they're like, man, I feel all this pain, I'm not getting any results. I worked out like 4 times and I'm just like feeling fucking sore. It just like hurts and I'm not getting any results yet. And there's this idea that the healing process is supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to be good. It's supposed to feel nice. It's supposed to be, we're supposed to be getting better. We're supposed to be feeling better. And so it's supposed to feel nice. And we forget about this idea, how we, kind of glorify the healed version and don't glorify the healing process. The person that has to go through, because no matter what it is, anything in life, whether it's, you tear a muscle or dislocate a joint or break a bone or something like that, obviously there's pain when it happens, but it's the healing process, going through the monotonous, boring, discipline-inducing, physio exercises, the small, simple, boring exercises that you do on a daily basis, and you're just doing these tiny, monotonous movements over and over and over again. You don't get stronger. You don't fully recover without feeling a little bit of that that pain, whether it's a physical example or just like manually pushing something out of its comfort zone to just get a little bit more range of motion, a little bit stronger, rebuilding through that pain. And sometimes it's the physical example of, like I said, something gross like this that just kind of looks gross and you just kind of have to look at it. It's just not the best to look at, and it doesn't feel good, It's not like a great feeling either. It doesn't feel awesome. And so it's just kind of something that the healing process is sometimes a little bit of swelling, a little bit of bruising, a little bit of ugliness, a little bit of funky smells, a little bit of fucking gross look, a little bit of whatever. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it's gross. Sometimes you're going through, physical, when people, and like, trust me, like I've seen people in my life where they're struggling with substance abuses and they tell you, they like, you ask anybody that deals with, some sort of drug addiction or whatever it is, it's like when they're going through withdrawals, the shakes, the emotional pain, the detox of all of that. I've had people tell me that that's the most pain they've ever felt in their entire lives. And someone has to go through that in order to get to the other side, which is like healing and recovery, etc. Whether it's any addiction, it could be a financial, like addiction to spending, addiction to buying things. We have this like scarcity mindset, and so we think that we have to get more things and collect more things and keep getting those things, and we get these dopamine rushes from acquiring things. And we have to go through that painful thing of just like telling yourself, no, I don't fucking need this. I don't fucking need this. I don't need to buy it. It's not going to really improve my life. It's not going to make me safer. It's not going to be, and you have to go through and actually counteract these all these thoughts, because we're so good, especially when we're addicted to things, to justifying these types of things to ourselves. Oh, maybe I will need this. Maybe I will, and maybe this is, I can't afford not to buy it. Those types of things. Or just emotional growth, like going through tough conversations. Regardless of what it is, pain does not always need to be a punishment. Sometimes it's an alarm. Sometimes it's your mind, your body, some sort of realignment going on. Because of course it's going to be uncomfortable. You think about the just a sculpture being made. When you see those old Roman or Latin or Greek or whatever sculptures, when they had like the little tiny dicks and stuff like that, and you think about these things that are just carved and shaped out of marble. It's sometimes things have to be removed. Sometimes things have to be chipped away at and broken off to reveal, something new underneath. Or sometimes, when it comes to like kind of, a more extreme version like gangrene or some illnesses, sometimes you have to cut off the hand to save the arm. Sometimes those types of things are necessary as well. There's this idea that healing is punishment. We all or that pain is punishment. We all think that, oh, if it hurts, it's bad. If it hurts, I shouldn't do it. If it feels uncomfortable, it's bad. I shouldn't do it. And really, honestly, what it is just kind of us going through that healing process. It doesn't always look good. It doesn't always feel comfortable. It is actually only through that uncomfortability that you can, uncover the most beautiful version of yourself, and to really, chip away at what's less necessary, not necessary, if that makes sense. When it comes to like that idea, that metaphor of the marble statue, of just being chipped out of a big block. It's not that the rest of the block isn't beautiful. It's just look at how beautiful it is without it. If that makes sense. Or, kind of, I feel like that's kind of the best way to explain it. Even when it comes to, houses, when we frame as carpenters, a lot of the time, I think that's actually a beautiful place to wrap this up. I think this might just be a little short episode this Monday. That feels like, all I really need to talk about. I'm just kind of scrolling through here, but I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's it. Alrighty, folks. Well, I'm going to wrap it up there. We're going to have to do a little short one this week, and then next week we're going to jump back into it. And, let me know what you guys think. If there's any topics you guys want me to chat about, if there's anything you want me to think about, if there's anything, anybody you would recommend me have on the show, comment on the YouTube page. Let me know who you'd like to see, who you'd like to hear me speak with, or what you'd like to hear me talk about. And if you're watching this on YouTube, like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening to this on a podcast platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anything like that, leave a little 5-star review, leave a little comment for your boy, and do anything that you possibly can to help boost me in the algorithm. And on that note, I think that's pretty much it. See you guys next Monday. Much love. Peace out. Love you all. Bye.